Hi, welcome to Pine Hollow's 10-minute field trips. My name is Anita Sanchez, and we're going to be taking some field trips to some places you might not expect. So come on and explore. Welcome back to school. It's fall, the seasons are changing, and this is the time of year when we head back to school and we start doing different things than we did during the summertime. Going back to school in the fall is always a time of change. So think about it. What do you do in fall, in school time, that's different than in summer? It's nice and warm now, but pretty soon the temperature will change. It will get chillier, and animals and birds need to be ready for it. One of the changes in fall is that pretty soon we'll start to be wearing warmer clothes. We'll get out the jackets, the hats, the mittens, the scarves that we put away back in spring when summertime started, and we'll start wearing warmer stuff. But what about animals? People can wear warmer clothes, but animals can't put on hats or mittens or coats when the weather starts getting cold. Well, some animals might wear coats. But what about wild animals, like squirrels, for instance, or rabbits or deer? What kind of coats can they put on? Well, they do have a kind of coat. It's called fur. This is the fur or the pelt of a wild rabbit. And if you stroke it this way, it feels smooth and slick, almost like a raincoat. And the top hairs of the fur help shed raindrops and help keep the animal dry. But if you get a little closer and if you pet it the wrong way, so to speak, and look underneath the fur, you can see that there's thickish, grayish fur underneath there. And that's like the animal's long underwear. They grow these extra furs, the thick, fluffy ones, special in the fall to help keep them warm. It's their way of putting on a winter coat and hat and mittens. One thing that you might start doing differently in the fall as the weather gets colder is you might start eating different food. Instead of cold cereal, you might have hot oatmeal. And it's time for apple picking, so you might be eating different things. Animals eat different things in fall too, but where do they get their food from? If people get hungry, we can go to the store and buy food, or we can go to the cafeteria and get lunch. But if you're an animal, like a deer or a rabbit or a squirrel or something like that, it's not so easy to find food, especially in the wintertime. The schoolyard is a special place for the students and the teachers, but it's also a really special place for animals. Look around and see what kind of habitat you can find in your schoolyard. Look around your schoolyard and see what kinds of places you might find that animals could find shelter or could find food to help them get ready for winter. There's all kinds of plants that grow around the edge of your schoolyard. You may not notice them, but birds and other animals notice them because they produce seeds. It's called a Queen Anne's lace flower, And in the summer, it's all pretty and lacy. But in the fall, it changes. It turns into these dark brown seeds, and there's hundreds of them on each plant. So it's like nature's bird feeder. Sometimes, deep inside the heart of a Queen Anne's lace, a bug will hide in there and spend the winter. See a little bit of the web that the bug has made for his winter home. Let's close it back up. Goldenrod is another plant that goes to seed, and even a small patch of goldenrod at the edge of the schoolyard can be a whole restaurant for birds and bugs and all different kinds of animals. Look at all those seeds there. Over in the corner of the schoolyard here is a really cool plant. They're called cattails. There's food for wildlife all around, even in places you might not expect. Lots of tasty seeds inside those cones. The squirrels eat the seeds that are underneath these scales on the cone. They really love the seeds, which are really nutritious, and then they leave the rest just lying on the ground. So keep an eye out around the edge of the schoolyard. Often there's all kinds of berries, leaves, cones and nuts and seeds, all different types of things that can be food, not for people, but for birds and bugs, mice, rabbits, and all sorts of other animals. If you look here, you can see that some of these berries, these dogwood berries, have already been eaten. See the empty stems where birds have already gobbled them up. Maybe you know some people who, when the cold weather comes, just go south. They go to warmer places to get away from the cold. Well, some of us stay here all winter long. Animals do that too. Some animals migrate or travel long distances to go south where it's warm. Even trees do things differently in fall. Pretty soon, they're going to stop making food and drop their leaves. So welcome back to school. A lot of changes going on. Hope you have a great school year. So thanks for exploring. See you next time.